Alright, I'm a bit late here in the week for this, but I figured earlier this week I'd done just the track 1 tutorial, but I'm going to do the whole tutorial for this event in hopes that it closes the very small gap between us and the other team by helping players on my team score better. So anyway, here we go. So the first round, your parts do not particularly matter a whole lot. I will say this. I would most certainly keep your magnet on, your landing boost, and then if possible, well, it will be possible, your coin boost, but the wheelie boost, I'll just take that off. It's not really needed. So the big key here to this first one, what you want to do, obviously I have complete mastery, so that's going to help. However, this first one is the only one that really helps in this event. So, it is possible to do very well even without it. What you want to do is turn your thrusters down to 1, whether you have mastery or not. It's going to be helpful. Alright, so then what you want to do, in most events when you blow your top, is what you do is you hit start and or race here. Then you hold both down and it pops the top. It's not going to do that here, but you still want to do it because it puts it in race mode, which makes it fly a little better. So anyway, here we go. I think anything over 900 meters is a 15,000 point run. So anyway, what you're doing is you're seeing I'm getting way high up under the screen right off the bat. Then what I want to do is I want to keep on the thrusters as much as possible while going forward and up. And I want to, if you see the little smoke pouring out of the bottom of your thrusters, you want to watch that angle. You want to make sure it's coming up and that you're going forward at a decent speed as well. If you go too far forward and get going too fast, your thrusters, you'll start losing altitude. But you really just kind of want to stay in this area, being on the thrusters as much as you can, keeping that upward and forward momentum. See, here's what's happening. I'm going too slow, but see my thruster, I can pick it right back up. Now I'm already past the part where I've got a 15,000 point run. I can just extend it way out because I have the eco thrusters, which don't chew up as much gas. So here we go. Now I'm going for the final, get some forward momentum. Then when it starts flipping, I'm out of gas. Like I said, I've landed at 960 and it was a 15,000 point run. I think anything over 9 is a 15,000 point run, and as you see, I almost doubled that because of my thrusters. So it's possible to get there without it. It's just you have to do everything just right. And either way, even if you don't get 19,000, if you get an 800 meter jump, you're still getting a very high score. All right, so moving on. So this one, mastery has nothing to do with it. So it's really kind of the same tactic. I am by no stretch of the imagination the fastest here. But this is what I'm doing. I don't know what others are doing. I'm not maxed out on everything here like everybody might be, but that's what I'm using. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that perfect start. Get that perfect landing. Hit the nitrous. Hit my tail right there and then get going again. That was a far better run than I had before. So, it can be fast for those parts, as you see. Okay, so this one is a big one. As you see, I'm in first place. Nearly 2 seconds separate me from the nearest person on our team. So what my trick here is I want to get the perfect start, but I also don't want to take off too fast and start losing things right out of the back of my car right off the bat. So you can see once I get that perfect start, I come off the gas for a second, and I come on it, and I'm kind of feathering it just a little bit to get some speed while not losing the things off the back of the cart. Give me a second here. I'm going to take a drink. Okay. So the other thing is, once you get, you're going to, if you see that little jump on the far right of the screen, pretty much right under the skip button, when I get there, I'm going to start taking off. What's important here for the difference between getting a good time and getting a great time is, one, you want to make sure you're using your thrusters to push you forward as much as possible while staying over, off the ground until you get to where you want to land. Now, the big thing on that, like I said, is you want to be leaning forward, so you're using your thrusters to push you forward faster instead of just up. The other thing is you want to watch your gas very carefully, and you want to touch down, if possible, right as it's starting your low fuel, which is right when your gauge gets in the red. So we're going to give that a shot. I'll kind of talk as I go and explain what's going on in my head as I'm doing this, and then we'll hopefully you can just copy it the best of your ability. Here we go. Once again, perfect start. Feather it a little bit so as not to lose any. Here, up. Keep leaning forward. And now, right there, I lost one. Hit the brake right there to get a better. That was terrible. That was terrible. Anyway, you want to hit your brake right before that little thing because it'll fling you up in the air a little bit, which will help. Normally, I can finish with either 19 or 20 of those things in my cart, and I get that 8.5 second run you saw. I just didn't take that little gap right. Like I said, right before you hit that gap, you want to hit your brakes, and it's going to pick you up in the air so that you don't actually touch the gap at all. But I screwed up. I'm human. But more often than not, it does work. Okay, last. This is what I'm running currently. I've been trying a bunch of setups. I've definitely seen some people do a whole lot better. Look, Pry there with the, almost twice my run. It's crazy. I wish I knew how she was doing that. Let's get rid of this Corn Boost and Go wings. I think that's what she is using, but I really don't have anything solid laying down here, and I'm not in the greatest of place. So we're just going to do what I do. Terrible one. But that's 35,000 right there, and I didn't do anything super tricky. So hopefully you guys can copy this, and hopefully it helps.